Now it's time to make the wheel things like behind the wheel, so when we do have a wheel in there, it won't be see-through. First thing we want to do is select the areas which we're going to make it in. And that's here, here, and down here. We don't need this area at the moment though. So what we're going to do is hide unselection, unselected, and now we're going to select a border around this. First you could try is extruding it in with the extrude tool, and let's go with -7. Trick with this is you have to look through your model after you do it. And if you're one of the people who likes to have it look good, you're gonna have to go back and modify it. Okay. There's one, and then here's another. Let's see. Okay. Now also, I'll show you in a second what's going to happen. I don't think anything happens on the hood, but in some areas you're going to have to fix this little like separation problem, and you'll see where, and I'll explain why it happens. Okay, see here. Okay, now right here you're gonna have to select these this vertex, and hold on, didn't happen. Okay. So you're gonna have to move that one down. Okay, first we're gonna see this. Now we have a round edge right there. Now what we're going to do is select the edge tool, and let's unhide everything except the fender. Select the edge tool, select all the edges that we want sharp. Okay, like that. Now we're gonna chamfer it by 1. Let's see here. Yeah, chamfer by 1. And now we have it sharp. Now there is a little trick, and sometimes it works. Like in some of my models it works, sometimes it doesn't. What we want to try to do is before we undo or do anything, save it. So in case this doesn't work, just reopen the file. Select one of the inside edges, click ring, click connect, and do 1. And that should make all the edges a lot sharper. And what you want to do is look at a reference image, see if we want it that sharp. That's the wrong program. Alright. Let's just use this. Yeah, that's a bad reference image. This should do it. Okay, the edges are sharp, but they're kind of roundish, so, and ours aren't really. So let's undo that, and undo it until we have all the edges selected once again. And now we want to chamfer it by 0.3. That way we have round edges. You just go back all the way through it, see if there's any places you need to weld. And I don't think that's going to happen with this fender. Alright, now what we're going to do to have these edges sharp, because they're not round, so what we will be doing is selecting them, just the edges in the corner, count for them by 1, like that. Go up here, select the edges, and not right here because as you can see it's roundish. Count for them by 1. Now all we have left to do is count for this by 1. Right here. And right here. Count for those 2 by 1. Now let's see something. Okay, something weird's happening here. Oh, okay, I see. Okay. What we want to do is just select this edge. And just move it downwards like that. When we count for by 1, attach this to there. That should do it. There we go. And now select this line, but deselect everything except that. Count for that by 1. Okay. Now that we have the fender, seams and all that stuff done, we're going to save it as a new file. Now I want to unhide all, just to test it out. Okay. Now we're going to do let's do the hood. Hide unselected. With the hood it's easier. We just select border, deattach all these, and just select that one back again. And just move them down on your own. Now that once we have that, select these edges and camfer it. First by, let's see here, 1 and then 0.3, just, or 0.35. Okay. Now just like on the other part, select these edges, camfer by 1. Unhide all. Save as a new file. And I do this just because you never know when you might think, wow, I should have never done that, or I should have waited. That way you could just reopen it. It's there. Alright, now as you can see, it's a bit roundish. Like it's not as round there, but right here. So what we will try to do is just select the ring modifier and add an extra polygon right there. If that doesn't do it, you always select it like this and connect it. These right here, and connect it. One and then move. Oh, okay. Let's see if this will work. There we go. That did it. Save as a new file because we have tweaked it up. Right, now let's do front bumper. Hide unselected. Okay. Now this is where the extrude thing, like I told you, where it messes up. It will mess up a little bit. extrude it -7. Now as you can see, it did do that, but right here, what you don't notice right away, it's detached, like it's all separate, and you have to weld it. And this happens because there's a lot of polygons joining together, and when you extrude it just separates it for a weird reason. I do not know why, but oh well. You just weld it up and then continue on your way. Now select this, extrude that -7, weld these two, okay, weld those two as well. Save as a new file. We want to make sure everything is welded here. Okay. Chamfer by 1. Weld it right here. Chamfer again by 0.35. And once again weld it right here. I don't think there's any welding that must be done on top. Nope. And now select this edge, chamfer by 1. Can't unhide all. Right, unhide. Save it. And now that once we have that done, this is what we're gonna do. And I'm not gonna make a very detailed behind because I'm not gonna make an engine. So this is pretty much useless making all these details because usually these details are for the top thing. So and you're not gonna see it, believe me, because the shadows and everything. Hopefully you'll be using shadows in your rendering. So what we will be doing is just selecting these edges right here. And first, select this one and move it back so it's as equal as possible. So as you can see, this and that are all the same lengths back. I now select these edges, these as well. And you could do a loop, but then you'll end up deselecting things, and I don't like that. Too lazy to deselect. Alright, once you have that selected, and right before we do that, what you want to do is go back in here and make sure that this is as final as you want it. So you want to modify it a bit if it's not as round as you would like it. And I think that's how I want it. Okay, now once we have that, with all those edges we have selected, what we will be doing, instead of extruding back, we're going to extrude out forward, and you'll see why in a second. We're going to select the polygon tool, select everything we extruded out, deattach. Now we could hide our car. We select this, select these edges, and I'll move it back in. And now view align it in the front view. Now we have the back of the wheel thing. What we will be doing is welding these things together like that. And then after that, we want to select this tool, the edge tool, loop it and extrude it in 7. Loop again, chamfer by 1. And if you want it sharper, Select the edge tool, ring it, connect, let's say to the SG-Gen. Okay. Now once we have that, you're going to select the edge tool, and you're going to click bridge. Click from this edge down here to this one right over here. What we want to do is also target all these two. Okay, now once we have that, just continue doing that from edge to edge. Then we could cap that. And what we will be doing, selecting the edge tool, clicking ring, and that did not work as I was hoping it would. Wasn't as smooth. Okay, loop it, see if we weld by, camfer by 8 or whatever. And there we go. And to fix this, just cut it up on your own. Like I said, no one's gonna see behind the wheel because it will be hidden. And there we go, we have one thing. And what you want to do is also move it back a bit further, just in case the wheel is wide, the rubber or the tire. Okay, there we go. And now we're going to do the same thing for the back. Now the back is more complex because the rear fender has this whole thing to it. So this is what we're going to do. First, let's see here. We're going to have to work with this rear fender and the rear bumper. Hide unselection, unselected. Save as 80. Now click loop. Shoot this back -7. Shoot that back -7. The reason why I'm doing this all separately, I didn't select it all at once, because if you have it all at once, sometimes this can, instead of moving straight back, it can move to a side. And that won't be the best thing to happen when you want to camfer it. And we want to hide these rear lights because they're going to only messing us up at the moment. Right now, loop that. Shoot that in -7. Weld that and weld this. Now we're starting to get some nice looking seams going. Loop that. Ooh, that's gonna be a long loop. Oh, okay. This is the window area. We need a rear view. Okay, I'm gonna pause it while I find the reference so I don't waste time. Okay, here's one. The back is a rubber area and it just goes like that. So what we do want to do is deattach it. This is going to be its own thing now. What we want to do is also hide it. Okay, once we have that looped, you want to make sure it's everything we need. Except that. Shoot that down -7. Okay. Okay, select these two, loop them. Shoot that. Weld it there. there, and once again, like before, we're going to weld on top and the bottom because these have a lot of edges, so it detached basically. Now select these two, extrude them back. And this is the most annoying process of finishing up a car. It's making these ridiculous seams. Alright, now select all this. Shoot that back -7. Then right here we're gonna have to do some welding. Okay. Weld it there and there. Now we will delete that. Click target weld and target weld them. Now we have all the seams extruded back. Now this is the more annoying part. It's time to chamfer them, and then we'll have to go back and weld all the places where it has a 3-point polygon after chamfering. Okay, once we have that all selected, chamfer it by 1. And go back and start welding. Weld that. Okay, now that we have all those things welded, select it again. You have a 0.35, just like last time. Here's a trick you could do, like if you don't want to zoom in, select the area and just press Z and it zooms in automatically. Weld it there. Okay, now that we have that, we're gonna have to chamfer. So select that. Chamfer by 1. Actually, I'm gonna chamfer by 0.5 this time, so it's sharper. Almost like we wanted. Okay, select that. Then select that. And right now to zoom in, out, and in, I'm just pressing Z. Like once I deselect it, I press Z. That zooms out. Select an area, press Z again. That zooms in. And now the back is, well, it's hard to tell. Yeah, it's sharp, but hold on. Let's just worry about chamfering. Well, one second. Okay. Save as a new file. The back is sharp from here and here. Let me try doing this. Select polygon tool. Quick slice from there to there. Now let's see if that caused a bump or anything. did cause a weird look to it. Hold on. There we go. Just move that back. There we go. Okay, once we have all those things chamfered and sharp edges and all that, oh, we forgot to do it right here. Save as 82. Oh, we can't unhide all, it's one object. Select the move tool. And now, like, select this, all these things, right here, except for that. And move it down. Like that. Okay. Save it. And now we're ready to do the rear bumper. Element, hide unselection, unselected, my bad. Alright, we could do the, in my opinion, it'd be better to do that part first because it looks more annoying because of all the weldings. Alright, shoot at -7. Alright, let's see here. Look, at the moment, this moved down. Now, if we only select it, let's see if we'll, yeah, we don't even have to bother. There we go. Okay, now that we have that, let's see if there are any places we need to weld. Probably right here. Or no, maybe not. Nope, no need to weld there. It looks like we intended it to be like that. Alright, loop that. Also extrude this -7. Weld these two. Okay, now that we have that, select these edges. Actually, first select these right here. Okay, once we have that selected, move it up and in. So basically you're moving it in position instead of using that extrude tool, because it didn't place it exactly how I would like to see it for me. Okay. Like that, chamfer by 1. Go back and see if we need to weld anything. Hopefully not. Okay, then chamfer again by 0.35. Just like we mentioned before. Chamfer this area by 0.5. This one by 0.5. I think that should do it. Let's see here. because I think this one's sharp as it is. Okay, now unhide all. There we go. Save as 83. Now, same thing like with the back. It's like this. Move it so it's like that. Now, select the edges. Okay, save it. Shoot it out. Deattach. Hide the body. Yep, select these edges, move them back in. View align them. Move them back in this far as the first one. Then ring it. See, we have it by 2, so oh yeah, first we need to weld right there and down here. So then ring it, connect 2, select this, extrude it out, loop chamfer by 1, apply turbo smooth just to see it. Alright, now select the edge tool and do the same stuff just like on the front one. Okay, now once we have that, select the edge tool, loop it up, chamfer by 8. Now let's just see what happens. Select bridge tool, and if you have to just manually add it. Okay, now delete the turbo smooth from both of them and save it. Unhide all, select the car body, attach it, okay. Now that we have that, we have the inside of the wheels done. Next step will be to make the emblems and then the window wipers. And now if you want, you could import your wheels already. Click merge. Find the Dodge Charger folder, wheel. And this is all of it just set up. And you don't need to worry about it because I will show you how to assemble it. If I haven't already, I don't remember. Because I made the wheels a while ago. So if I did, then sorry. Okay. Move it in. Scale it up. Just like that. And then see, once you move it back, Do the same thing for the back. Just copy it over. Now delete the blueprints so they don't get in our way. As you can see, we have the in the back too. So we have our wheels, and then what I like to do is, well, not yet, but this is what you're gonna do. Just make it black, so when you do render it, you don't see behind the car. It's just all black behind it. And it looks really nice. There you go. Okay.